The FAA and NTSB are investigating multiple close calls that have occurred at major airports during the past month. The latest happened Saturday in Texas. This is animation of what happened. And a FedEx Boeing 767 was cleared to land as a Southwest Airlines 737 was cleared to take off from the same runway. And this showed just how close they came to coming into contact. It follows another close call in New York last month. You remember when we told you about a Delta flight that was told to abort takeoff as an American Airlines flight taxied in front of it. Look at that. You can hear the panic in air traffic control recordings.
Delta 1943, cancel takeoff clearance. Delta 1943, cancel takeoff clearance. Rejecting.
And in New Jersey, 2 planes were damaged when they clipped wings at Newark Airport last Friday. And this happens more than you might realize. News4JAX aviation expert Ed Booth is joining us live via Zoom this morning. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, Jennifer.
So these situations, as you've taught us, are called runway incursions. It feels like we've heard more about them happening recently. I mean, are they common?
Very common. The FAA keeps very accurate statistics on these. 1,600 last year. That's an average of 3 per day. They do categorize them into severity, and the 2 you have mentioned are the most severe category of runway incursion. We have before us an opportunity to fix this problem before a major tragedy occurs.
Okay, I want to ask you about what the fix is, but first, I mean, why do they happen?
Human error. Sometimes equipment failure, but the understood cause is human error. We've known about this for 50 years. 1977, the worst aviation accident in history, almost 600 persons killed in one accident on a runway in Tenerife, the Canary Islands. 2 747s ran into each other. So we've known about this problem for half a century, and a lot has been done to address it, but it comes down to human error.
So when you say human error, is this error on the pilot, or is this air traffic control, or is it a combination of both?
The system works through shared responsibility and a system of checks and balances. There's pilot error, there's air traffic control error, there are confusing runway markings and signs, and there are airport vehicles that cause distractions and runway incursions.
Can you walk us through how air traffic control communicates then with pilots?
But when a pilot is taxiing out for takeoff, they deal with a ground controller who marshals them along the taxiways. They are then switched over to the control tower, and the control tower has a total authority over who is on the runway at any given time. And as we saw in the most recent event in Austin, Texas, the air traffic controller appears to have forgotten about the FedEx airplane, which led to the near tragedy. The other incident at Kennedy Airport, the pilot failed to obey a hold short line, went through it, and nearly hit a departing 737.
Ed, we just showed a picture, and if we could pull it up again, it's of JAX, a diagram of the runways. Could you explain, based on how our airport is designed, the likelihood that something like this, a collision on the ground could occur based on the layout of the airport?
We are very fortunate to have an airport design where the runways do not intersect each other. As you can see from this diagram, the main runway, runway 826, is completely separate from runway 1423. This goes a long way toward preventing runway collisions. Nonetheless, you'll see a system of taxiways identified by letters that an aircraft follows on its way out to the runway, and if a pilot fails to obey a command to hold short of the runway, there would be the human error that could cause a potential disaster. So it's all up to the participants paying close attention. One problem we have right now is short staffing in the air traffic control system. It takes several years to properly train an air traffic controller. There's no easy fix to increase staffing there.
So you mentioned mentioned at the beginning of the interview that we need to make some changes. Anything that you think needs to change to increase the chances of this not happening when, those of us flying public, take our next flight?
I think the air traffic controllers and the pilots need to pay attention. To allow them to do that, they need to have reasonable work hours, reasonable staffing, reasonable backup. And the system is in place to prevent these accidents. But the fact remains the most dangerous part of any passenger's flight is on the ground, not in the air.
Is en route when we're on the ground. Okay. Ed Booth joining us. Thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.
Good to be here, Jennifer. Thank you.